Alright guys, so we're doing some rotors, pads, front and back on my neighbor's Chevy. It's a 2018, I believe. Dealer quoted him like 1400, so let's knock this out real quick. I will show you how to take this apart as soon as I get the wheel off and go from there. All right, we got the wheel off. A little rusty, but nothing too crazy. It's probably should be good. Spray some lubricant on it, and these rotors are definitely on their way out. The pads, can't really see with this, but let me see. Pads are pretty good, just the rotors. All right, let's take this apart. So it is a 14 in the back to take off the caliper, and then you release the pads, and then you take out that screw, and the rotor comes off. So be right back, boys and girls. All right, so the old pads are off. Not bad. I mean, this one is kind of weird, but they weren't too bad. So again, take out the two bolts. There's two pins. Comes out just like that. And then you got to take off the caliper bracket, and then the rotor comes off. All right, boys, in case your mama didn't teach you how to do brakes, we're doing brakes on a 2018 Chevy Cruz. So other side is done. New clips, clean the carriers, change the pads, because you don't want your baby mamas riding around like that. You want them riding around like that. All right. Also, floors are holding up well, so that's fun. Again, you can do this yourself. A lot of stuff you can do yourself. You don't need a lot of tools. I probably use like 5 tools. But I've done clutches, transmissions, axles, motors. I've done a bunch of stuff. I just don't advertise it anymore. But your boy got skills, all right? Other than that, it's cool. Nice little Chevy. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a YouTube up in a minute, so I'll show you how to do a DIY brake job. All right, boys, we're all done. Remember, always torque your wheels down, proper torque specs. This is pretty much the tools that I needed. Not all of these, but I had to go buy a set because I needed one, which was a pain. But now, hey, I got extras just in case. But yeah, torque your wheels, job done. Thanks for watching. All right, this is the last corner, but I don't know what causes this. Maybe it's the rust, the salt. Who knows? A lot of cornflakes. All right, here's a trick you could use. Try to do it. So you kind of gotta hold it so that the rotor itself doesn't spin. All right, but you get the idea. But yeah, cooked. This one wasn't too bad though. Down to the wire, like Kanye said, but it's all right. Happens. All right, boys, we're on the last side. Finish up this job. I only charge a guy 50 bucks for all 4 corners. Take it to the casino. Hopefully we could double up. All right, be right back. This one is toast. All right, boys and girls, we're back. We got some fresh shoes. This, woo-wee. That is treacherous little twin. That's crazy. Yikes. All right, boys, for a second, I thought the rear brake pad wasn't even there. So if you can tell, this is the metal base of the pad, and then there's supposed to be some meat left. So this side, you can see, has meat, and then that's the base. This side, non-existent. So meat and potatoes, canned spam. All right. Yeah, that is a little wild, but hey, what are you gonna do? All right, boys. So we're on to the back now. Wow. Yeah, that is toast. That's a no-no. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, no bueno. All right, let's get this party started. Other side, changing the retaining clips from this. You can kind of see. I want to change them so you don't get any squeaks and squabbles. They just kind of push out. Looks like whoever did it before didn't use any grease. I don't know if it was ever changed from the dealer. I don't know how many miles this car has on it, but yeah. So in case your mama didn't teach you, you gotta lubricate everything. All right, fellas, boys and girls. So this job is not bad. Brake jobs are pretty easy. I've done clutches, transmissions, axles, engine stuff on my Porsches and other cars. So this is cake, but this is something that everybody should need to know how to do. You can get a lot of tools from like Harbor Freight. I think maybe 4 tools that I use plus a jack. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can do this yourself. Use a jack stand, practice safety. Oh yeah, these floors are holding up phenomenal, by the way, if you haven't seen the last video. Aside from that, you kind of should learn to do this little stuff by yourself. Good little DIY projects. I mean, a shop might charge $1,000 if it's a dealer. If it's just like another brake place or Pep Boys, you might be at like 600, and that's parts and labor. But it might be more. You can kind of quote it out just to be curious, but you'll save a lot of money if you just kind of learn how to do it yourself. And then the money you spend to get it done, you basically could use that money to buy the tools to do the job and then have the tools forever and then learn the skill. So it's a good thing to practice, FYI. But yeah, all right, be right back. All right, guys, so basically here's the driver's side. Rinse and repeat. One thing you got to do when you put this on, you want to use anti-seize and then just lubricate the hole so that, or clean it basically, because this, you don't want it to seize up. And 9 times out of 10 with the heat from the brakes, this little screw that holds in the rotor will get seized in there, and now you're trying to take it out, and you'll strip this, which we haven't done because you have to have the right tools. But you see how it kind of started to get a little bit of corrosion there. It was starting to get tight. So you always want to make sure when you do this, just use the proper lubricant, proper torque specs. So next time, the next person will be able to remove it easier. And you go from there. Other than that, everything looks okay in here. This is customer's car. Has a little bit of rust here, but nothing too crazy. This is kind of, probably need some bushings at some point, maybe a control arm. It's a little rusted, but other than that, it doesn't look too bad for a 2018. Pretty much almost, I don't know, 10 years old. So all right, be right back. All right, boys, once everything is torqued back down, you hit it with a little brake cleaner. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Boom. I'm gonna spray some more of this, wipe it down. There you go. All right, make sure you put these retaining clips back in. When you pull off the caliper, they will fly out. Use this right here. This is how they go on. All right, we got the new pads on, new clips, rotors on. Make sure you wipe your rotor off with brake cleaner when the job is done. These are all torqued. All right, so now we have to put the clips in. And then, I don't know if you can see these, but don't forget these little clips here. And then we'll compress the caliper, and then that's it. The side's done. Make sure you torque everything down. So we torque these 2 bolts here, top one, bottom one. We're gonna put some grease in these pins here because these come out. The boot's a little messed up, but you see there's a pin in here, so we're gonna grease those. All right, be right back. All right, new rotor is on. Didn't come with a new screw, so we reused the old one. It was fine. Now we have to rebuild the carrier. Came with new hardware. These are the old shoes from before. New shoes. You have your 2 clips here. All right, boys, so once you take off the caliper and the actual bracket for that caliper, you want to undo this bolt here. Be careful, make sure you have the right size. This one's a T30, and then the rotor will come off. And boys, gotta hear the click. You do that. All 20. All right, starting to rain. I will check back.